In Nigeria, the Naira fell 1.5% to a new low of 265 to the dollar on the unofficial market after the central bank rationed dollar supplies this week. The bank cut the amount it sold to brokers to $10,000 this week from $30,000 last week. It offered $84.5 million at a similar sale 2 weeks ago. Plunging oil revenues, which make up 90% of Nigeria's foreign currency earnings, have hit public finances and the Naira. Businesses are struggling to access dollars as the central bank rations the greenback to save reserves. The central bank this month asked all bureau operators to submit accounts showing their dollar usage at the start of each week before they can access future sales. Right, so Deji Badmas joins us now from Lagos for some analysis on these developments. Deji, last the Naira was devalued, some analysts argued that persistent national unemployment and the sliding global oil prices will make it economically suicidal for Nigeria to devalue the Naira further. So what are the reactions so far and the expected effects of this latest devaluation?
Well, first of all, the Naira has actually not been devalued now. There's been no official devaluation. What we have is a depreciation of the Naira over the past as a matter of fact, it got worse over the past 2-3 weeks, especially as you've been reporting there, the CBN introducing new rules, allowing more bureau de change operators into the system, but then limiting the amount of foreign exchange they're allowed to have to $10,000. Before it used to be $30,000, now $10,000. So the situation you have now is that there is a severe scarcity of dollars, and in a situation where you have this kind of scarcity, the general rule is that, you know, when you have demand outweighing supply, definitely the price of dollar would go up, and that's what we're seeing now. There are calls on the central bank to devalue, but the central bank is still holding on to the Naira the way it is. As we speak, the official rate is just around $197 Naira actually to the dollar. But of course, as you've been reporting, in the parallel market, that's the unofficial market now, is 274. And we all know what the problem is. The problem is that Nigeria has been earning less and less revenue from oil, which of course is the main source of Nigeria's foreign exchange earnings. And if things do not improve, then it just might get worse. And some people have actually said, well, the central bank, some analysts have actually said the central bank needs to loosen its control, needs to loosen its restrictions now in the forex market and probably allow for some kind of devaluation so that you could have some kind of midpoint now between the official rate and the unofficial rate, which, by the way, now the gap is really, really high. I mean, wide, I should say.
Well, no, and of course, Deji, touching on the point you made about Nigeria's economy being oil dependent, it's been argued the viable option for Nigeria in managing the global economic challenges is to diversify the economy. So is the government seriously looking at this as an alternative?
Well, the government has been talking about investing heavily in agriculture. President Buhari has made it clear that he intends to diversify this economy. The way it is now, I would tell you that the country hasn't got a choice at all. It can no longer rely on oil for as the mainstay of the economy. So it hasn't got a choice at all. It has to diversify. The government is investing heavily in agriculture. The president will unveil the budget next week, and by next week we will see the kind of investment that this government now will be making in agriculture, the services sector, and other sectors now other than oil. So with the way things are, the government has no choice at all. And I think the government is pretty serious about diversifying the economy, but we just have to wait and see how much, for instance, it will be putting into agriculture, which everybody has agreed that is what Nigeria needs to invest heavily on now to get itself out of this quagmire, if you like, and this overdependence on oil.
All right, Deji Badmas live in Lagos. Many thanks, Deji.